Connor, how you doing, mate?
How you doing, bub?
I'm good. One thing I want to mention, in your last fight, in your post-fight interview, we saw you get very emotional about family. Family is clearly a big motivator for you. This is your first fight since becoming a father. How much is your child, or how much extra motivation is your child giving you now?
As far as motivation, none. None. I'm already a motivated young man. I don't need, there's nothing. My son, anything I chose to do, my son would have had a blessed life anyway, because I would have applied myself 100% to whatever it was, whatever craft it was. That's just the mindset I got. I will make sure I give 100% to whatever it is, so therefore it will succeed. As far as me and my achievements in boxing, I've achieved more than I thought I could when I first started. I believe there's a lot more left to achieve. But I'm just want to be a good dad to my son. To England to be a father. I come to England to be a great boxer. Do you know what I mean? So it just motivates me to be a better man. A better, who am I? What do I represent? Who is Conor Benn? So that sort of thing.
Absolutely. It's been mentioned, Amir Khan already. He did come out and say he feels you could win a world title one day. As somebody who is a potential rival down the line, how does it feel to hear that from him? A high compliment.
Well, listen, he's my idol at one stage. He's achieved everything I want to achieve in the sport. And I like watching Khan fight, mainly because there is a level of vulnerability, but also he has grit, he has the speed, and he was one of them fighters that I like to watch. So I'd love to fight Amir Khan, of course I would. But I've got my hands full with Vargas, and everyone keeps talking about Khan. Listen, I've got my hands full this Saturday night, and providing I come through, which I believe I will, with a great victory, well then we can have them talks.
And just finally from me, also Saturday night, Jeremy's fights. It's not just on the British scene, but on the world level. Welterweight is a stacked division. How exciting is it to be part of this division? Because of course you will have world title ambitions as well.
This division's on fire. Always has been, always will be. You've got to have the power, the speed, the accuracy, you got to have the lot. It isn't just a matter of one element. You have to have the full lot. And we're talking heart here as well. It's a stacked division, and it's an exciting division to be a part of.
Absolutely. All the best. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, James. If we go to Brett from Bad Intentions Boxing, please.
Cheers, Dan. Connor, great to speak to you and have the opportunity, mate, to have a chat with you. How are you keeping?
Pleasure. Yeah, not too bad, mate. Just relaxing now.
Great. No, it's good to hear. So I apologise if I asked something that's already been mentioned before. I was a little bit late to the party because of other reasons.
You do your thing.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you. So obviously this Saturday represents, I think on paper, and if we reflect on it, what is classed as the biggest step up of your career so far. You're going in there with somebody that likes to bang. He's got a history of going in there and wanting to brawl with people. We've heard you say on numerous occasions, you like to fight. It's the entertainment business. Is there the potential of an overemphasis of trying to excite people too much and potentially getting caught against what is something who likes to brawl?
Nah, man. I'm going to go in there and do what I've got to do. I'll find openings and I'll take them. He's going to probably try and rough me up and, show his experience. Well, let him do what he wants to do. I've had someone try and rough me up before pulling my head down, pulling all them fast ones, elbows in the face, and then I banged him out in 2 rounds. So, and that was a former opponent of Samuel Vargas, who went 12 rounds with Vargas, and then people say he should have won. So, listen, he can do what he wants to. He can worry about doing what he's got to do. Me and my team have a strategy, and we're going to stick to the strategy.
No, it's great to hear, and obviously you're full of confidence going into this fight. Just touching on your previous comment there where you mentioned about Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly's an exciting fighter. He's got lots of flair that he brings to it. You was obviously live and present that night when David Avanasian, got that fantastic stoppage against him. Do you think there's an element as tactically good as Josh Kelly is that he just doesn't have the heart?
I can't question his heart from another fellow fighter, but something's lacking, and only him and his team know what it is. Whether he deep down thinks it's his heart, or whether it's his weight, whether it's desire, whether it's passion, you don't know what it is. And I can't be the one to point the finger, because at the end of the day, anyone who steps in the ring, you have bundles of heart as it is. But I don't know. That's between him and his team.
Yeah, no, that's great. And my last question I've got for you is obviously his opponent, which was David Avanasian. There's a lot of talks of him potentially fighting Dillian Ulesanov. Is David Avanasian somebody that you'd potentially have your eye on a little bit down the line?
Plan. But at the end of the day, whoever's put in the opposite corner, I'm in there to fight him.
Conor, I appreciate all of the time, buddy. Thanks ever so much, and I wish you the best for Saturday.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Brett. If you go to Gareth Davis from Telegraph, please.
Sorry, I'm just in the middle of lunch. Apologies. Conor, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can indeed. Thank you. Yourself and your father, Nigel, Campbell Hatton and Ricky Hatton, Chris Eubank Jr. and Chris Eubank Sr. What is it about sons of fathers who haven't grown up in poverty, who've grown up as the sons of very successful, financially stable men and fathers? What is it about the sons that makes them want to go into boxing?
You're asking the wrong person. You missed out. You've got Steve Collins Jr. You've got Nassim Hamid's sons now coming on. You got then Shane Mosley, son fighting. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, doesn't it? But I think I can't answer that question. I think I'm good with answering questions, but I don't think I can answer that question because at the end of the day, it isn't the most glamorous life to have been chosen, considering they done what they done, so we didn't have to do what they done. It don't make no sense. But at the end of the day, you find your calling and you go with it.
And so it is a calling. And do you think it's ever wanting to prove something to your father? Or is it just something because you've got his blood in you that it's there? It's a calling, but are you trying to prove something to Dad on a deep, deep psychological level?
No, of course not. I mean, my dad's my dad. I've done painting and decorating. I worked in retail. I worked in scaffolding. I worked as a PT. So when you're talking, my dad loved me equally. My sister works in a coffee shop. My little sister's studying to be a nurse, currently works in KFC. It makes no difference to what I had done. This sort of just happened. It wasn't like I could go to, Gareth, yeah. I used to joke about it and say, yeah, I'm going to be like a fighter and all that. And then little did I know it's turned out true. So I believe God opens doors. I believe that, he opens doors no man can open, and he shuts the doors no man can close. So, I pray to God, I go, listen, God, I'm struggling here, mate. But you brought me this far, mate. Don't let me down. You brought me this far. Because at the end of the day, I couldn't have opened these doors myself. It all sort of just fell in line too well for me to say no.
But in terms of having a father who boxed Final One for me, I know how much you speak to Nigel. I've had you in the studio and you're chatting to him before we do the radio show. You're chatting to him in the breaks. Does he remain a great mentor for you, even though he's not your trainer?
You know what? My dad's my role model. He's my idol. He's a legend to me. And that's boxing aside. forget boxing. I'm not even talking boxing. Just who he is as a man, and that's where he really inspires me. And having a son myself, just really inspires me in that way. I think people forget there's more to life than boxing. There really is, and I just want to be a good man.
And what are you going to do if your son ends up wanting to prove it as well and be a fighter?
He won't. But I doubt he will, because I just don't know. I don't think he will. I'm praying he don't anyway.
Brilliant. Thanks, Conor. I'll let someone else take over. Lovely to see you, mate. You're still looking beautifully, smoothly shaven.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gareth. If we go to Devinder Pal from the Boxing Voice next, please.
Cheers, Dan. Hey, Conor. You okay?
Yeah, mate. You well?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So first of all, after that fantastic victory over Formella, do you feel yourself being called out now by people you wouldn't have been called out from before? And from that as well, do you feel like you have to prove more of a point, because you've been quite a relaxed guy, just saying, look, you're going to take one fight as it comes, like the likes of Florian Markey, for example. How do you stay so level-headed?
Well, I don't even know why you brought his name out of Powerball. He's a novice. Do you know what I mean? I don't even know why his name gets brought up. Because when you look at it, I don't even think he's ranked in the top 300 in the world, 400, 500 even. So it's that's just people jumping on, following social media, and it's funny because that's mainly based on where it's gone. Because if another 7-0 kid called me out, would you have brought his name up?
Of course not, no.
Well, exactly. So that's a bit of a daft question, but I get called out all the time, and it is what it is. I've been called out from the get-go throughout my whole career. I'm flattered. You've got to be flattered, because at the end of the day, I'm never out for fights, and people are always going to call me out to try and get a leg up off my name and my platform, which is fine. But I'm on my own journey, and they can all muck around, do what they want to do. But so far, me and my team's plan is going ahead, and it's working.
Good stuff. And you said to me once as well, you'll fight whoever's in front of you, whether they've got 2 arms or 2 legs, you'll give them all a crack, and so on and so forth. This year's been a very difficult year, as is last year with COVID, and staying positive has been a key message for everyone. How have you been keeping positive during these sort of times?
It's a season, and the seasons, they always pass. It is hard, but you just have to keep on the ball, and it's easy to fall off, and it's harder to get back on. So you're better off just staying on it somehow.
Conor, all the best from the Boxing Voice.
Thank you, mate.
Good luck for Saturday night. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Devinder. If you go to Steve from Boxing UK next, please. You're on mute, Steve, mate.
Hi, Conor. It's Steve from Boxing UK.
How you doing, mate?
Hello, mate. Conor, we've already had a couple of people have mentioned this is a step up in class and a coming-of-age fight. Do you get a little bit tired of every fight with you seems to be a coming-of-age fight? At what point do these fights stop becoming coming-of-age fights and it's all about Conor Benn moving on to titles and big titles?
I don't know, to be honest, mate. It's public can see it how they want. They can sell it how they want. They can. I mean, people were saying the same about Formella. He's only come to Sean Paul. Fought for a world title and won the IBO. So on paper, really. So it to me, let people say what they want. Rankings don't lie, numbers don't lie, and performances don't lie.
Lovely. One thing that hasn't been mentioned, how do you actually think this fight's going to go? What's your prediction?
think we might be having some internet problems at the hotel, unfortunately. So we'll just wait. All right, I think that's back. Steve, if you wanted to ask again, mate, just in case you didn't get that.
Sorry, Connor, we cut out there. I was just saying one thing that hasn't been discussed is this actual fight. What problems do you think Vargas is going to bring, and how do you see it going?
He's going to bring everything he knows. He's going to bring his 31 fight experience, or however many fights he's had. He's going to bring it all. He's going to bring the heat, and you know, it's going to be a tough fight while it lasts, in my opinion. But I do believe it can go points. But I believe I'm definitely the quicker, way more explosive, talented, skill. I believe I'm all round the better package. So I believe the stoppage can come, but then I'm also prepared for it to go points. It don't make no difference to me, really. I've trained hard for the 12. So, and this is my first 12 rounder. So I would like to get the 12 under my belt, but then also I'd like to go home and have an early night and get me curry down me.
Last one from us, Connor. You've said that Khan and Brook might be jumping the gun a little bit, but what's your ambitions for the rest of the year if you get through this one?
Listen, I can't really jump the gun. I've done this once before, and I hit a deck twice in the first round. So, I know people get carried away, but would I like? Let me get through this fight first, and then me and Khan can talk straight after.
No problem. Best luck at the weekend, Connor. Take care.
Thank you, mate.
Okay, we've got time for one final question from Dona. Do you want to jump in, mate?
Hey, Connor. Could you talk to me a bit about the training you did with Darren Till and the sort of the constant talk that you've had over the last sort of year or so about maybe potentially considering doing a crossover fight at some stage?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, sorry, I'll ask again. Could you tell me about the training you did with Darren Till, the bit of MMA training, and also your sort of you've maybe mentioned in the past potentially doing a crossover fight at some stage down the line. Talk to me a bit about working with Darren Till and the possibility that we see Conor Benn step into a cage at some stage.
Well, working with Darren Till was blinding because he's one of the best in his field of sports. He taught me so much. And I'd go to some grappling classes and grappling lessons just because I think it's good for your core strength as well. And, just learning all different sorts of martial arts. It's, it's all part of the combat sport. And then you start to see fighters crossing over to MMA and then vice versa. And, it's something that I won't put past me at all. With them small gloves on, I think I definitely clean up in the Bellator UFC division 100%. And, there's a lot of hype around the crossovers in a minute. So, you guys will definitely see me out there once my career's said and done in boxing.
A lot of talk about Florian Marco. I know that you said you're not interested in him. You said that he's a novice.
Yeah.
Is there any chance that perhaps that fight would happen outside of the boxing ring and maybe happen in a cage, considering his experience?
You're talking to me like I don't think about him, to be honest, mate. Like he's not relevant at all.
Thank you.
Okay, that concludes Connor's section of today's.
I look at other fighters we done, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I think you had a bit of a delay there on the internet, but
that's all right.
We'll wrap things up, mate. But really appreciate your time as always, and we'll see you in the bubble later this week, Connor. All the best, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cool. So next up, we've got Sammy Vargas. Apologies for the internet there. I know it's on a bit of a delay, but he's currently isolated in his hotel room, so there's not too much we can do about that, unfortunately. So next up, we've got Sammy Vargas. Should be joining any moment now. So if you've got any questions, just raise the hand emoji, drop me a message, and we've got 30 minutes, so we should be able to get through everyone again.